All right, so today we're going to dive into something pretty interesting. It's an article called I Was One of the Millions of Young Men Who Wanted to Be Bob Dylan.
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
And we're going to kind of dig into that whole idea, um, why Dylan had such a huge impact and what his legacy looks like today.
Sounds good.
So the article we're looking at starts off with the author remembering that freewheeling Bob Dylan album cover. The one
Yeah, with Suze Rutolo, right?
in the snow.
Exactly, yeah, that one. And it's just such a classic image, and it really sets the stage for understanding, the whole Bob Dylan thing.
Yeah, that cover is iconic for
Right.
sure. I mean, you see it everywhere, right?
Totally. And the author of this article says he was like one of the millions of guys who wanted to be Dylan.
Yeah, well, who didn't,
I
right?
mean, it wasn't just about being famous, though, was it? It was something more.
No, definitely not. I mean, the article talks about that, how Dylan, he wasn't like a typical heartthrob or anything. He was kind of scruffy looking, really. Yeah, and dressed kind of like he got his clothes out of a dumpster or something.
Exactly. And yet there's Susie Rotolo with him looking, happy as can be. It's like he was challenging the whole idea of what it meant to be cool and successful.
Right. And the author says that was a big part of his appeal, especially for young men. It was like this message that being smart and rebellious was more attractive than, looks or money or whatever.
Definitely. I mean, think about it. Back then, it was all about, clean-cut guys in suits and stuff.
Yeah, the whole Mad Men vibe, right?
Exactly. And then here comes Dylan totally turning that on its head.
Right, like this scrawny poet dude who somehow gets the girl. It's pretty powerful imagery.
It really is. And it totally resonated with people who were, looking for something different, something more real.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So the author then goes on to describe the first time they ever heard Dylan's music. And it's really interesting. It wasn't on like a big radio station or anything. It was on a pirate radio station.
Pirate radio. Wow.
Yeah, wonderful Radio London. They even give the frequency, 266 on the medium wave. It's like a time capsule.
Yeah. That's so cool. I mean, that just shows you how different things were back then. New music spread in totally different ways.
Totally. And they even say at first they thought his name was Bob Dylan, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that's a great detail. I mean, it shows how his music kind of came first, before people even knew much about him.
Right. It was all about the sound, the experience, not so much the persona, at least not at first.
Exactly. So then the article talks about the film A Complete Unknown, which is about Dylan's early days in Greenwich Village.
Yeah, and they describe it as this really, how do they put it? Oh, yeah, bohemian, faintly squalid, deeply political and pretentious world.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Greenwich Village was like the center of everything back then. All the artists and activists and musicians.
Right, and it seems like that whole scene really shaped Dylan's early protest songs.
Oh, for sure. I mean, songs like The Times They Are A-Changin' and Blowin' in the Wind, they came straight out of that world.
Although the author of the article has some pretty harsh things to say about those songs.
Really? What do they say?
Well, they call the times there a-changin', you know, ghastly, cliched, and mindless, and blowing in the wind, flaccid and sentimental.
Wow, that's pretty rough. I mean, those are like iconic protest songs.
I know, right? It's definitely a different take on them.
It makes you think about how our perspectives on art can change over time.
Yeah, maybe those songs just don't hold up as well now, or maybe it's just the author's personal taste.
Yeah, could be. Or maybe they just sound different in light of everything that's happened since then.
Yeah, it's a good point. So speaking of that whole political scene, the article really emphasizes the roles of Pete Seeger and Susie Rotolo in Dylan's life.
Yeah, Seeger was a huge figure in the folk music world, and he had his own interesting political history, too.
Yeah, he was actually a member of the U.S. Communist Party for a while.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the article even talks about how he was initially against the U.S. getting involved in World War II, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, it was a different time for sure.
Totally. And it seems like Seeger's support really helped Dylan get his start, give him some legitimacy.
Yeah, for sure. And Susie Rotolo, she came from a really politically active family, too.
Oh, yeah. Her parents were super involved in left-wing politics, and her mom even fought in the international brigades in Spain.
Wow, that's serious commitment.
I know, right? And the article suggests that Rotolo had a big influence on Dylan's early political views.
Makes sense. I mean, they were dating during that time, and she was obviously very passionate about these issues.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's the whole thing with Dylan moving away from protest music and going electric.
Oh, yeah. That caused a huge uproar.
People felt like he betrayed them. Right?
Yeah, totally. Like he'd sold out or something.
And the article argues that this wasn't just about the music, it was about politics, too.
In what way?
Well, people saw it as him abandoning the movement. Yeah, turning his back on the cause.
Oh, I see. So it was like a personal betrayal as much as a musical one.
Exactly. And the article says that this whole episode really contributed to the myth of Bob Dylan. The whole mysterious, enigmatic persona.
Interesting. So it wasn't just his music or his lyrics, it was his actions, too, that created that image.
Right. He was always doing something unexpected, something that kept people guessing.
Definitely. So moving on, the article also talks about Dylan's lyrics and whether they can be considered poetry.
Oh, yeah. And they quote Professor Sir Christopher Ricks, who thinks some of Dylan's work is definitely serious poetry.
That's pretty high praise coming from a guy like Ricks.
I know, right? And the author seems to agree, even though they make fun of some of the lines.
Like what?
Well, they mention that line from Visions of Johanna, the ghost of electricity howls in the bones of her face.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic.
And they're like, did I hear that right?
Yeah.
Like, even they're not sure if it's profound or just, beautifully written nonsense.
Yeah, Dylan's lyrics can be pretty hard to decipher sometimes, but that's part of what makes them so interesting.
Right? It's like they're open to interpretation and everyone can find their own meaning in them.
Exactly. So the article then goes on to compare Dylan's music to other popular music of the time.
Oh, yeah. They're pretty harsh on the Beatles and the Who.
Oh, they say
Well, they basically say that Dylan's work was way more substantial and meaningful than stuff like I Want to Hold Your Hand or My Generation.
wow, they really don't hold back, do they?
Nope. And they even call My Generation the dumbest rock lyric ever written.
Ouch. So, what about Dylan's later career? Does the article talk about that much?
Yeah, they mention how he's known for kind of messing with his own songs in concert,
Mm-hmm.
changing the arrangements and stuff.
Oh, yeah, he does that all the time. It drives some fans crazy.
And they also talk about how he won the Nobel Prize in Literature, but then didn't go to the ceremony.
Oh, yeah, that was classic Dylan right there.
Totally. And the author thinks it was his best joke, just thumbing his nose at the establishment.
Yeah, I can see that.
So despite all the different personas and phases, the article argues that the real Bob Dylan is just Robert Zimmerman from Minnesota.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, he can't escape his roots entirely, right?
Right. And they say that his song North Country Blues is his greatest, truest song.
What's that one about?
It's about an iron ore mining town
Oh.
that's dying out. The jobs are gone and people are struggling.
That's pretty bleak.
It is. It's really powerful, though. The lyrics are so specific and heartbreaking. You can tell it comes from a place of deep understanding.
Yeah, I mean, coming from a small town himself, he probably knew people who went through stuff like that.
Exactly. And the article actually suggests that this song might be the one that lasts, long after the others are forgotten.
Really? Why do they think that?
They say it's because it's so real and so universal. It's a story about loss and hardship, and it resonates with people on a really deep level.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, we all experience those things in some way or another.
So I guess the big question is, who is the real Bob Dylan? Is he the protest singer, the poet, the trickster, or maybe all of the above?
Yeah, good question. I don't think there's an easy answer. He's been so many things over the years, and he keeps evolving.
Right, and maybe that's the point. He's not just one thing. He's this constantly shifting kaleidoscope of, creativity and contradictions.
Exactly, and that's what makes him so fascinating to study and listen to.
Well said. I think that about wraps it up for today's deep dive. It's been a pleasure chatting with you as always.
Likewise.
And for all of you listening out there, we hope you've enjoyed this exploration of Bob Dylan and his enduring legacy. Until next time, keep on digging and stay curious.